Each time you start a new part, Inventor automatically creates the default reference planes for you, along with the default axes and the part's origin. Planes, axes, and points make up a specific type of feature in Inventor, known as work features. These work features were created automatically, but you can create your own additional planes, axes, and points too. There are lots of scenarios where this comes in handy. By now, you know that you can begin sketches to create features on any flat planar face of your model, along with any of the default reference planes. But what if you want or need to create a sketch somewhere else? Or if you don't have enough geometry to create and position new features? Or if you want to use a different plane or axis to constrain a part in an assembly? When you find yourself in need of an additional reference, you can create work features manually. First, let's take a look at creating a new work plane. You can find the Plane tools on the Model tab of the ribbon on the Work Features panel. Notice the Plane tool has a drop-down menu, and you can see all of the different types of planes you can create. The default command is the generic Plane tool. This is by far the most robust of the Plane tools, as you can use this to create any type of plane. At first, you might find it easier to choose one of the more specific plane types from the drop-down menu, but eventually, you'll most likely find yourself using this tool the most once you're a bit more experienced with creating planes. Let me show you how it works. The Plane tool is really easy to use. With the tool active, all you need to do is select the references that you want to use in your model. The Plane tool in Inventor is a smart tool, meaning that it will automatically create the appropriate plane type based on your selections. After I make a selection, you can see a preview of a plane appears. And as I move my cursor to make a second selection, you can see the preview of the plane updates automatically, showing the type of plane that will be created if I were to make that selection. Once you've selected the model elements you need, the plane is created automatically. You can adjust the size of the plane by clicking and dragging it by its corners. You can also click and drag the entire plane to reposition it, but keep in mind, the plane will still be parametrically linked to the elements you selected. You're not actually moving the plane. Here's an example. One of the most common plane types is a plane offset a certain distance from another plane or face. Now, I could use the Offset from Plane tool from the drop-down menu to do this, but we'll take a look at that in the next lesson. Let's create an offset plane using the generic Plane tool. With the tool active, I'll click on one of the default reference planes, and then I'll click and drag it in the direction I wish to offset it. When I do, you can see a box appears where I can enter a distance value for the offset. To finish the plane, I'll click the green check. You can create an offset plane from any flat face of the model using this technique as well. Now, from the Tools tab of the ribbon, let me launch the Distance tool from the Measure panel. I'll select this plane and this face, and you can see the distance in the window. If I exit the Measure tool and click and drag the plane to reposition it, it looks like I've moved the plane. However, this is just due to our perspective looking at the plane. Notice, if I again use the Measure tool and remeasure the distance, it's exactly the same. With just a little bit of practice, you'll be able to quickly create the work planes you need using this tool.